In 2009, Cleveland Hughes was encouraged by a therapist to seek out boxing as a way to unlock his emotions and help him discover who he is. And he says that decision helped transform the trajectory of his life. He joined me this week to share his inspirational story and how he's helping others discover who they are through his innovative new boxing gym and philosophy. I'm Kevin McShane. Let's have this conversation. Hey, Cleveland, we want to welcome you to the show, and I want to tell you how excited I am to learn all about the way that you're positively impacting people through the sport of boxing. Always great to see you, and thanks so much for being here this afternoon.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, Cleveland, I know that your journey to begin on this path started in 2009 when you went to see a therapist to tell you that you should take up boxing. So, can you tell me about that journey and how you got to where you are today?
Sure, no problem. Well, yeah. So it was after high school. So in 2000, I graduated high school in 2007, and I played high school sports, and I through high school sports, it really helped. High school sports really helped me regulate my emotions, just from being in a competitive environment, but also being in a collaborative environment, working with teammates and such. It helped me feel whole, helped me feel good. And all the benefits you get from training and being around people that have the same goals. I was able to benefit from that. And then after high school, I was kind of a smaller athlete, so playing college ball or college basketball or football probably wasn't going to be something that was going to be beneficial to me because I was really small. And so after high school, I really didn't have much of direction. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with myself and do with my time. I knew I wanted to be in some sort of athletics, but I wasn't going to be a professional basketball or football player. And those are the sports I loved. So I kind of fell into a depression, and I would spend weeks and months at a time at home doing just about nothing, and I figured that something was wrong. It wasn't normal for somebody my age to be feeling hopeless and to be feeling unmotivated. And so I decided to go to therapy. I went to therapy, and my therapist noticed my enthusiasm when it came to sports, and he suggested that I find a sport to play. And he said maybe I could play soccer, I could play a bunch of other sports that smaller athletes thrive in. And but the sport that seemed most fitting for me was boxing. Boxing has weight classes, and for me to have an opportunity to compete with another athlete that's the same size as me was really exciting, because I was used to trying to have to you know guard somebody that was 4 inches taller than me, or tackle somebody that outweighed me by 50 or 60 pounds. So that was the beginning of the boxing journey for me.
And tell me, once you discovered that and you got your emotions in check, how psychologically did you feel better? And can you just tell me how boxing has changed the trajectory of your life?
Yeah, so boxing changed my life in so many ways. There were so many benefits that I didn't really know that were going to be a huge benefit. You know, you think that exercise alone is going to make you feel good, but the type of exercise that we did for boxing, the type of exercises that we did, the practicing really led me to feel empowered. Um, the thing that boxing helped, you know, because if what it takes to be a boxer, you know, when the expectations of a boxer, you know, boxing is the only sport where the goal is to injure the other athlete. You know, if you're able to get in there and you're able to knock someone out, right? That's an injury. That you're injuring someone else. That's how the fight. That's how you win a fight in boxing. And so, to think to overcome the anxiety that it takes to get in the ring is a skill that is very beneficial. That's been very beneficial for me emotionally, just because I've learned to, you know, like to deal with my anxiety on that level. So boxing really helped from that perspective of controlling my emotions.
And has the sport helped you at all deal with the pandemic and what we're going through?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because you know, I started boxing, you know, in 2009, so that was I don't know, 11 years or so ago, and ever since then, you know, like I said, I developed like a fighter's mindset. So I think about it like, you know, you hear the boxing analogy, rolling with the punches. And you know, things don't always go your way. You know, things are not always ideal, and you know, through the sport of boxing, I learned to control my emotions, and I'm still, you know, I'm still training and doing all the things that I would do. But you know, boxing really has helped me through this time because I'm self-reliant. And you know, I'm relying on myself to make sure that I'm healthy and such. So yeah.
And you now say that you're on a mission to help people through the sport of boxing discover the same benefits that you've gotten out of the sport. So, can you tell me about that?
Yeah. So I actually created a system called the Intentional Boxing Training System. So sorry.
No problem.
So sorry. Sorry. I just I'm kind of like in the mid. I'm like at work and I'm in the parking lot and they're moving my car right now. I'm sorry. That was an unexpected interruption. Sorry.
All
But
good.
so I created the Healing Mitts Intentional Boxing Training System, and it's focused on the therapeutic effects that you can get through boxing. One of the principles is champion's breath. And basically, the principle teaches you to control your breathing because your breath is the only thing that is automatic and under your control. So say for example, you're in a stressful situation, you know, the normal response is, you know, for your heart rate to increase, for you to get uncomfortable, you know, for you, you know, to react to the stimulus that's outside of yourself. But champion's breath teaches you to control your breathing, which helps bring you down a few levels so that you can function at a higher level, you know.
hmm And you now have your own boxing gym there in Evanston called Healing Mitts Boxing, where you implement this strategy. So, can you tell me about your boxing gym, how it works, and the impact it's had on people?
Well, yeah. So, like I said, this like I in the gym. I mean, it's set up like a normal boxing gym. It's just the principles that we teach are focused on building a fighter's mindset, building um, strength and like internal strength. You know, control over the emotions, being able to relax in stressful situations, being in the moment, more things that you would hear from, like a therapist, um, versus like what you would normally hear from a boxing coach. We focus on helping people feel better and through the sport of boxing, and obviously we teach boxing as well, but we teach it very particularly through those principles. So it's set up like a normal boxing gym. It's just the philosophy and the strategy is different.
And tell me, I know that you think that boxing has positive mental health aspects as well. So can you also touch on that for me?
Well, yeah, I think that when we're kids, as we're growing up, something that's really important for us to learn is like emotional regulation. Learn how to express a healthy amount of our emotions. Like sometimes you deal with kids and they throw temper tantrums, like they kind of spaz out, and there's nothing wrong with them expressing their anger. It's just they're letting or expressing their frustrations. It's all coming out all at once. And that's the thing about boxing, is it's a controlled aggression, letting out pieces of aggression, letting out pieces of anxiety, letting it out in a more healthy manner. And so that's what we do in boxing. That's why it's so important. What we're doing here with the system is to help people emotionally regulate. And what I believe is that if they can do these things inside the gym, that they can also do it outside the gym in their everyday life.
Yeah, and my final question for you is, when you're not in the boxing gym, what do you like to do for fun? You mentioned before this started that you're into basketball and playing football in your previous life. So can you tell me, what do you like to do for fun and decompress, bud?
Oh man, there's so many different things that I like to do. I really enjoy sports. I like playing sports and I like watching sports. I actually like to read. I read a lot. I like to write. I write a lot, and there's so many different things that I can do. I'm always having a good time. Everybody likes to eat, right? Eating's one of my hobbies.
I never met a meal that I didn't like. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, if people want to connect with you through your boxing gym or through just wanting to connect with you personally, how can they do that?
The best platform for you to get me on is on Instagram, and you can find me at clevelandh.fitness, or you
Uh,
can visit my website,
yeah, what's the
www
website, bud?
yeah, www.healingmitts.org.
Fantastic, Cleveland. I know how busy you are, and creating your own entrepreneurial journey and getting that off the ground. So I really appreciate you spending a few minutes with me to share your story, and hopefully you can continue to inspire people through the sport of boxing. So great to see you. Thanks for all you do, and for joining me this afternoon. It's most appreciated.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. It was an honor, and I'd like to come back again, and we can do it again. All right?
Absolutely. You have an open invitation. Always great to see you, Bun, and thanks for a few minutes.
All right, no problem. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. Fantastic. Well,